Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking something truly fascinating, the architecture of strategic silence. You know, we live in this culture that absolutely glorifies oversharing. It's like every single business plan, every relationship milestone, every new purchase just has to be broadcast to the world instantly. But if you look at the quiet discipline of true billionaires, people like Elon Musk, you'll see a completely different strategy at play. We're going to uncover exactly why the most successful people on Earth treat their privacy not as an afterthought, but as their absolute greatest asset.
Think about a game of chess for a second. If you look your opponent dead in the eye and announce exactly where you're going to move your knight, what happens? Well, they block you. It sounds ridiculously simple, right? Yet in business and in life, people make this exact same mistake every single day. By broadcasting your strategy before you actually execute it, you're quite literally giving the world a head start to either copy your path or just throw roadblocks in your way.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll quickly cover the trap of oversharing and the power of strategic silence. Then we're taking 10 millionaire secrets and organizing them into 3 distinct vaults of information you absolutely must protect: your current reality, your vulnerabilities, and your future moves. Finally, we'll wrap up by mastering the art of silence. All right, Section 1, the trap of oversharing. Let's look at why this stalls our progress. Why do we feel this overwhelming urge to tell everyone everything? Well, usually it boils down to seeking public validation. But there's a real modern paradox here. While the average person desperately broadcasts their life just for likes, true wealth is built entirely differently. It's built by remaining what our sources call underexposed. Seriously, the more you share, the more you end up judging yourself through everyone else's eyes, and honestly, the more you invite sabotage. The discipline of staying underexposed means you just let your results make the noise, not your mouth. Moving right along to Section 2, the power of strategic silence. This is where privacy becomes your superpower. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how silence is framed. It's not a weakness, it's a fortress. Strategic silence is this incredibly active, calculated philosophy. It's literally an architecture of discipline used to shield your ambitions. You're intentionally using privacy as your primary driver for achieving extreme wealth, protecting your hard-earned progress from 2 very destructive forces: human envy and external interference. Which brings us to Section 3. Time to introduce our first vault: hiding your current reality. Just look at this number, 90%. According to our sources, 90% of people's problems stem from one single, totally avoidable mistake: revealing their income. The second your bank balance starts growing and you tell people about it, you immediately fire off these invisible arrows of envy. Friends, relatives, neighbors, they suddenly start looking at you differently. They wonder how you got ahead of them, and way more dangerously, they start forming financial expectations of you.
So what exactly needs to go into Vault 1? 4 things. First, your income and earnings. Sharing this just invites leeches and, loans you're never going to get back. Second, your lifestyle and expenses. Flaunting a flashy lifestyle forces you into this crazy cycle of debt just to maintain a fake image. Compare that to frugal billionaires like Warren Buffett, who live super simply because they know simplicity is what actually grows wealth. Third, your relationships. Broadcasting your private struggles just invites judgment and gossip that can completely poison a relationship. And finally, your elite network contacts. Exposing your mentors and powerful connections, that just invites other people to exploit or even ruin those fragile, highly valuable relationships. Keep Vault 1 tightly locked.
Okay, on to Section 4. Protect your vulnerabilities. Let's open up Vault 2. Here is what needs to be locked safely inside Vault 2. First up, your personal weaknesses. Sharing these doesn't usually get you genuine support. Honestly, it just makes you look out of control and diminishes your perceived value to others. Second, your failures and defeats. Look, when you fail, fail in private. Public failures just become public gossip and entertainment. And third, and this one really blew my mind when reading through the source material, skills in progress. When you're learning something new, it's a super fragile construction process in your brain. Announcing to the world that you're learning a new skill invites external judgment, which can completely disrupt your focus and break your momentum. Just build it in private. Moving into Section 5, conceal your future moves. This is Vault 3, and it's arguably the most dangerous. Let's move to and see how this builds, because if you don't lock this third vault, you fall right into what our sources identify as the failure loop. It goes like this. Step 1, you get all excited and share your brilliant new idea. Step 2, you instantly get bombarded with unsolicited opinions from people who probably have way smaller visions than yours. Step 3, all that negativity makes you start doubting yourself, and step 4, the idea either gets completely abandoned because you lost faith, or even worse, the person you told copies it and beats you to the market. Seriously, a brilliant idea often dies the exact second it leaves your mouth.
So, to stop this failure loop dead in its tracks, Vault 3 has to contain your future plans, your literal next move, and your next big goal. In today's highly competitive world, speed is absolutely everything. Keeping your next moves entirely hidden ensures that absolutely no one can copy your path or put up roadblocks. Think about a company like Apple. Their product launches are so incredibly secretive that nobody knows what's coming until the exact moment they want you to know. It completely shocks the market and commands absolute attention. That's the power of the Vault. And this brilliantly illustrates the psychology behind it all, which is just fascinating. Think about the talker on the left. They share their goals, and they get this premature dopamine hit. Basically, their brain gets tricked into feeling the reward of achievement before they've even done the actual work, and that completely kills their motivation. But on the flip side, the silent builder doesn't get that cheap dopamine. They maintain their hunger, they stay fiercely focused, and eventually, they just completely surprise the market. Finally, Section 6. Mastering the art of silence. Let's talk about how to apply this today. So, the crucial point is this. Silence isn't weakness. Silence is strategy. It is incredibly empowering to wake up and realize that you literally don't owe the world an explanation of your life. Keeping quiet protects your precious energy. It acts like a giant filter for the noise, the jealousy, and the negativity of everyone around you, leaving you 100% focused on building your empire from the shadows.
I want to leave you with a final, slightly provocative thought. Take a hard look at your own life right now. Your projects, your relationships, your goals. What is the one move you need to stop talking about today? Seriously, lock it in the vault. Do the hard work in the dark and let your eventual, undeniable success speak completely for itself. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and just remember, sometimes the absolute loudest thing you can possibly do is stay completely silent.